love and devotion. Call it a mom's adoration. Foundation, a special bond of creation.
Hello everyone, welcome to Table Talk. Today we have a very special guest with us this morning, Miss Kim, the head of the School of ISHCMC International School. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's so wonderful to get to know you more.
And then we heard a lot of good things about you, that you're a woman of action.
Thank you.
So, we have decided, our ISHCMC mothers decided to put her to the test. This morning we will have 5 minutes of fitness workout, followed by a tennis tournament with two lovely ladies. Are you ready for this challenge?
Let's get it energized.
Okay, let's go!
Stay up there, stay up
So
there.
rock-a-bye, baby, rock-a-bye. I'm gonna rock you, rock-a-bye, baby, don't you cry. Oh, oh, I got breaking news and it's not about you. Oh, oh.
Rock-a-bye. Single mom, what you doing out there? Facing the hard life without no fear. Just see and know that you really care. Cause any obstacle come, you well prepare. And no, mama, you never shed tear. Cause you have to set things year after year. And give the youth love beyond compare. You find the school fee and the bus fare.
When he looks in her eyes, he don't know he is safe.
Bang, bang, bang. Alright then. Rock-a-bye, rock-a-bye. Rock-a-bye, rock-a-bye.
You all of my love, nobody matters like you.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Table Talk. So, Kim, how was your workout, fitness and tennis challenge this morning?
It was fabulous. I love to dance. It's one of my morning favorites, and I rediscovered a love for tennis that I haven't had since I was probably about 13 years old. So thank you for getting me on the court.
So last week, during the back to school night, we were able to get to know what has shaped your personality as well as your professional career. You talked about your adventure, your journey from Laos to Bangladesh and Qatar. You described how each has impacted your life as a learned lesson as well as fair share of culture shock. And what really made an impression was the way in which each of your family member has strongly influenced your path. So let's start with your brother. You spoke of his resilience and grit, which has set an example of striving to achieve and embrace life as it comes. As all parents are probably trying to impact grit and resilience in their kids, what would you say to our students or to our parents about the importance of grit in this competitive world? Because obviously you have applied that in your life and you have, owned your life to be successful.
I think grit is really important to our own personal sense of identity and well-being. And I've watched my brother go through an incredible life journey and achieve things which were beyond any possible goal that he had set for himself when he was in his childhood. I think every one of our teachers, every one of our students, every one of our parents needs to know that sometimes not everything goes the way we want it to go, and sometimes we make mistakes and we don't get it right, myself included. And that grit is really about how we stand up after something hasn't gone necessarily the way we expected it to. And grit is about how we take that next step forward with confidence, with courage, and with trust in our own abilities. Trust that whilst sometimes we might not reach the point that we want to, that we still can. And we just need to keep working towards it. And my brother demonstrated that. He took his health and his well-being into his own hands. He achieved some exercise goals which are beyond my wildest imagination. Being able to be an Ironman on repeated occasions. And I think that For myself and my brother, that was something that my parents taught us. They taught us to strive for goals, persevere, and always have grit and stamina, and know that anything is possible. You can get there. So for our students, I would hope every one of our students at ISHCMC can look inside and know that they have skills that they can apply, and if they don't have all of the skills, they can learn them, and that if they do make a mistake, it's okay. We take another step forward and we keep walking towards our goals.
Okay. So I recently also was looking at your education background and experience. You've been constantly doing a lot of studies. You have studied educational leadership management, crisis management, Bachelor of Social Science, Geography, majoring in history. Like your mom, you never stop learning. You continuously learning. And it seems like at a very young age, most probably you already know which path that you wanted to take, because from your education background, it's so obvious you are sort of covering most of the subject that gonna sort of mold you or make you prepare for the future. So what would you say to the parents and the children? What kind of support or space or freedom that they should give in order to find their own path? What would you say? Because as you know, grade 10, 11, 12, they are struggling, and sometimes the parents want you to be a lawyer, teacher, or even a doctor, but the child just maybe want to be a musician. These are the stress that they are going through. It's so difficult for them to choose their own path. Sometimes the parents come in too. But so what kind of advice would you give for the kids and the parents?
I would say follow your passion, follow your heart. Because if you follow your heart, you'll be successful. As humans, we give our all to things that we're passionate about. And our success comes from being able to throw ourselves into what we do with our heart and soul. I'd also say to our students that it's okay not to necessarily know exactly what it is that you want to be when you grow up, and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. At the moment, I'm very proudly a head of school, and I'm very proudly the head of school at ISHCMC. But in 10 years' time, what will I might be when I grow up? I would also say to our students and our parents that it's okay to start off in one path and sometimes change paths. I have followed a path in education, and my parents will say that at the age of 3 they could tell that education and teaching was a pathway I was going to go into, and that was the day I lined my teddy bears up along with my brother and put a little chalkboard in the room and started my first official lesson. But I don't think there is one right pathway for us. I would say always look deep for your passion. If you aren't 100% sure what it is that you want to be when you grow up, don't worry about it. But also know that there are so many evolving different opportunities. And for any grade 9, 10, 11, 12 student that I speak to, the one thing I would always say to them is remember that school is about gathering your set of keys so you can open your own doorways into your future. Don't let anybody ever take away the opportunities from you. So the more we can empower ourselves with a strong foundation of skills, knowledge, understandings, and our achievement, the more we can open the pathways we choose. For our parents, I would say be patient. Be patient and do a lot of listening, and always know that a happy child and a happy young adult and a happy adult is a healthy adult. So listen to your children when they say to you that they may want to be a musician or they may want to be a designer, and know that there are phenomenal opportunities out there in the world for your children to be very, very successful in a very diverse range of careers.
Of how people interact, behave, develop as a culture and influence the world. You also mentioned that your dad has a strong interest and passion towards the community work. As we are currently living in uncertain times in which kindness, compassion, and sense of community are probably more important than ever, how do you think we might emerge from this time even stronger sense of community and somehow take a positive from it, like teaching our kids compassion and kindness, as you know?
A good question. I would hope that as a result of the uncertainty that we've all just been through, that it's been a time where our families have come together. The number of families that have been in quarantine, small spaces for a lot of time together, families that have been in lockdown together, families that have seen behind the scenes of their children's learning journey, and children that have seen behind the scenes of their parents' work life, and families that have been pulled apart and have missed each other desperately. I think that in itself has created a shift in community. It's created a greater awareness in the need for each other and the need for social connection and the need for us to be able to care for each other. My hope is that as we come out of really what is sort of a global reset, that we are able to hold on to the importance of caring for each other as we move into the future. How do we build compassion amongst our young people? I think that's a value that we have to be able to install, and I think that that happens from the work that we do as a school community, and it happens from the work that our parents do at home. Compassion and the skills of compassion can be learnt from us role modelling for our young people, but it can also be learnt by us creating opportunities and experiences where our young people can understand who they are, how they belong to their community, and then how they can also contribute to their community, how they can give back. So one of the aspirations that I have as we move forward as a school community is really to look at opportunities that we can continue to grow our services action program, and how we can help our young people really connect not just with our ISHCMC school community, but beyond the walls of ISHCMC as well, out into our Vietnamese community. And I think there are some really exciting opportunities. And I think those are opportunities where we can work in partnership as parents, school, students. And I think that's really exciting. I mean, one that's happening at the moment, which I think is a fabulous partnership, is the Reuse Plastic Month. And those are experiences where we can engage our young people, develop an awareness of different issues that are around us, but they can also learn that they can actually take action to make change happen.
So the very first question is from my own son. He's in a grade 3B. So he asked me, he wanted me to ask him, what is your favorite sport? Do you even play a sport?
It's a good question. When I was actually at school, I played netball, and I also was on our ski team at school, so snow skiing. As an adult now, I dance. So it's a mixture of Latin dance and sort of aerobics. And then today I refound tennis. So
That's a good one. Okay. And for the second question, from Akish Russo, grade 6. Which was the most challenging culture that you experienced as an expat or a teacher?
Gosh, that's a really good question. I would say every cultural context that I've been in has been challenging, in the sense that I have left every context that I've been in still with so much left to learn and so much left to know. I think when we are courageous enough to take ourselves and put ourselves into different environments, we're going to be challenged. We're going to be challenged emotionally, we're going to be challenged spiritually. It's going to challenge our perspective. It's going to enables us to be able to start exploring values through different lenses. So I think there is one culture that has challenged me the most, but I think that what has made me stronger as a human and what has made me a better human is the fact that I have had multiple cultural experiences, and I've learned how to be a leader in different cultural contexts. So it's enabled me to really distill what is most important. What is at my core? What are the values that I hold most dearly?
The third question. What is your favorite country to live and why? Question from Faris, grade 5D.
Oh, I'm not going to make him very happy because I don't have a favorite. Every place I have lived has given me something special. So New Zealand, my home. I love New Zealand. It has my family, it has my roots, it has what I know and understand from my childhood. It has my creature comforts. Laos stole my heart. The culture, the people, the friendships, the work that I was doing with a sister school and a educating youth project that we started, it still continues, and the students of the school pass on year from year. So Laos for me was our first long-term international posting, and Laos stole my heart. The children in Laos stole my heart. We started a educating youth project working in the local community with our local national schools, and I have so much pride and so much joy out of the work that we did that is still going, and our students from the school that I worked in still pass that on year from year. And then Bangladesh, the colour and the vibrancy, and again the people and the love, and for us when we went to Bangladesh, we went to visit the school, and we knew that that's where we were going to go when we went into the slums, and we went and met the sister school that was connected to our school that we worked with in partnership as well. So a piece of my heart in Bangladesh. And then Qatar was a very different context from Laos and from Bangladesh in terms of being more developed. It has a wealth which is very different to the first two countries that we lived in. But Qatar taught me a lot about larger systems. The organisation I worked in was a much larger system, and we were connected to a schools group. And I learnt there how to be able to work and build culture alongside my colleagues who had very different schools, but learnt how to help our school find and have its own identity whilst still honouring the larger organisation that we worked with. And the Qatari people taught me a lot about humbleness, and they taught me a lot about how important it is to hold on tightly to identity and culture, because for them that was a very, very big focus. And then now here in Vietnam, and I arrived back in Vietnam, and when I hopped off the plane I felt like I'd come home, and I really do feel that this is where my feet were meant to land. And then when I came out of quarantine and walked into ISHCMC, I just felt like I had come to the community that was meant for me. So I feel just so blessed. So to answer the question, I don't have one favourite. I think that every place and every experience has just added to who I am, and I have such beautiful memories, past and even current memories, and connections with each of those places still.
So this question from William from grade 1. What is it like to be the head of the school of ISHCMC?
What a great question, William. I reckon William should just come and join me for a day, and then he will actually know what it's like. So William, where's William? William, my invitation for you is to come and be the head of school.
Oh, the matter, huh?
I feel very privileged and very blessed to be the head of school. I feel like I know that we just have a vibrant, energised community, and I'm excited to be able to work with our community, and I'm excited to work with our PTO, and I'm excited to be able to work with our students and our faculty. And I think together we're going to collectively vision where we're going to go into the future, and I just feel so privileged to be able to lead that. I'm here as a head of school, and to me that means I'm here to help steward the school forward. I'm here to support the community, and I'm here to help build connections and relationships within the community for the benefit of our students. And the only way I can do my job is with the collective efficacy of our whole community. It's with our parents, it's with our students, it's with our teachers. And I'm just...
Policy. She was asking if you could choose a subject to teach, what subject would that be?
Oh, Sarah, what a lovely question. I am a teacher. Heart and soul, I am a teacher. And humanities or INSOC or individuals in societies is my absolute passion, hence my social science background. I love the interdisciplinary nature of humanities or INSOC. I love the fact that we can explore social dilemmas and social issues, and that we can unravel what that means for us and look for solutions and look for or develop tools and strategies so that we can problem solve and we can decode and work across cultural contexts. Geography is also my passion. So in the upper school, I am a geography and history teacher. So I've taught DP history and geography. And I also love teaching theory of knowledge. The ability to really explore how it is that we learn and why we learn and what frameworks of knowledge look like is something which gets me very excited. I've taught a little bit of design, and I've taught a little bit of science, and I've taught a little bit of language and literature at the middle years in my career, but social science, humanities, INSOC, geography, history, TOK, that's what my heart sings about.
So, Pepper Atchison from grade 6. I was telling to her that your mom did a parachute jumping. So she asked me, could you please ask Miss Kim whether if she would do bungee jump like a mother, something adventurous. So she was said, please go and ask her mom if she's thinking about it or she's planning to do it like a mom. So
I will do something adventurous, but I have to confess that heights are not my favorite thing in the world. So putting me on a bungee jumping platform.
won the lottery and decided to give up teaching, what would you do instead?
It's a really great question. I've never ever thought about winning the lottery, but I have thought about what we could do or what I could do if I had an opportunity to be able to reach out into the community in a different way. So I've always had an aspiration to be able to start a school, which was a school that is fully scholarship focused, and it gives young people access to a progressive education who would not be able to have access to a progressive education otherwise. To enable young people to be able to gain skills, access to tertiary education, and then be able to make a change within their context. I think if I won the lottery, you wouldn't see me sitting still for very long. And if I won the lottery, I think it would just be the beginning of an opportunity to be able to make a difference in other people's lives.
So Kim, are there any embarrassing teaching moments you had in Bangladesh or Laos? What they are?
Embarrassing teaching moments. One of the things I'm very good at doing is falling down stairs. And I get distracted with everything that's going on. So if you ever find me at the bottom of a stairwell, you'll know what's happened. So not necessarily in Laos and Bangladesh, although I'm sure I fell downstairs there, but I do remember when I first started teaching and I'd organised the ball, the end of year ball for the graduating students. And all of the students were downstairs at the celebration, and I came down the stairwell and proceeded to fall down the stairs and land. So there's been a few of those moments in my teaching career. So watch out for the head of school who falls over.
My God. So what sort of morning routine do you have to get ready for the day? I've seen you at the entrance of the school because my kids go to school around 6:45, and I've seen you very energetic, full of smile. I've been watching you closely, yeah? But what do you do in the morning to get ready, to be so positive that you can,
Mornings are important times. They are an important time for me to centre myself. 3 times a week I will get up and I'll exercise in the mornings. And so I dance. I obviously shower and get myself ready, but then I take some mindful time for myself. And I sit and I mindfully eat breakfast, and I take time to be grateful for where I am and grateful for what I have in my life. I recenter myself, and I then forward project into what the day is going to hold. And then if I'm on the primary campus, I then will walk to school. And if I'm on the secondary campus, then I'll get out and make my way to the secondary school. But I feel that it's so important in the mornings to make sure that we take a moment just to be grateful for what we have, and to breathe, just to find our space. And then we can start the day in and give ourselves to others.
That's good, yeah. And for the last question, if you could pass on any wisdom to your students or teachers, what would you share?
It's a really good question, and I could probably fill in the rest of the day sharing wisdoms, or what I think are wisdoms. But I think what I would like to share is something that was shared with me last week. I have been meeting with all of our middle leaders across our school, and one of our middle leaders shared a Vietnamese proverb with me. And my Vietnamese is about 5 words at the moment, so I won't attempt to share it in Vietnamese, but in English the proverb says that in general sense, when you take a piece of fruit from the tree for yourself, you then need to nurture and look after the ground and the area that tree grows in. So my piece of wisdom to our team and to our students would be, as you take pieces of fruit for your own growth, be sure to nurture and look after those that are part of our community and their growth as well. And then those riches will come back to you.
Kim, one more question for you. What is your favorite book from the library? So Sarah Soros would like to find out.
Well, Sarah, I'm not actually sure what we have in the library at the moment, so my challenge to you is come and find me and take me to the library with you, and then I will find my favourite book. And I'd like to say that to Sarah. Sarah, come find me. We'll go to the library and you can help me find my favourite book in the primary library.
Okay, everyone, I guess that's all for now. Miss Kim, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it is absolutely my pleasure. It has been so wonderful to be able to spend some time with you and to get to know you, but also so you've been able to get to know me a little bit more.
Yeah. That's it for now, everyone. See you next time. Bye.
See you at school. Bye.